Hey, this is Rocket Brain Surgeon, and today we're going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to play about 3 games, and this is just going to be a stream of thought type of process, where it's going to be unedited, just so you can see what the gameplay looks like from my perspective of how the gameplay flows, what I'm thinking on any particular topic at any particular time, just kind of how it looks to be in my shoes for a little bit. So I've chosen the 190A5. This is a Tier 6 light German fighter, characterized by pretty good straight line speed and decent firepower. It's kind of a mini heavy, more or less. We're loading into Pacific Ocean. In the beginning of the game, I am going to use the comparison screen to take a look at my opponents. Right here, you can figure out, okay, one of the P-51As does not have the upgraded engine. Because I'm recording, I didn't get a lot of time on that screen. My computer is a potato, and I really hate it. I should upgrade this thing. So the frame rate's going to be a little low. The quality is probably going to be poor, but I'm okay with that because it gives some other opportunities. So the 190A5, very good at straight line speed. It's not good when you get outside of the performance envelope, so I'm not going to go there. You can see that I'm going up to about 2k meters and just stopping. I'm going to use the boost to accelerate quickly. I want to be near the front lines, the front engagements, and the reason why is I need to get my gun in the game before everybody just potatoes. I decided to target the BF-110E. We're going to go head on with him. My firepower is greater than his and he's forced to pull off. I'm not going to turn around to get him because this plane does not turn. Instead, we're just going to get a P-51A who is slightly distracted. There's bullets happening around, firing around me. I'm not sure if they're going at me or someone else. This P-51A, don't ram him! And I rammed him. That was not amazing. Unfortunate. He was pretty stalled out, so I thought I could maybe kill him while I got there, but that was not the case. So I'm not one to sit there and wait in game very much. I like to just jump to the next plane. And we want a game quickly, so we're going to get in the FW-190V. This plane is actually my favorite Tier 5. It's not the best Tier 5. I did a review on that. Check it out. But it plays a lot like the A5, where you have great straight line speed, you have great frontal firepower, you can't outturn anything, just don't even try. But I really enjoy it. So the XFL-1, the firepower, this is always very funny. The XFL-1 does not have firepower this good, I guarantee you of that. So sometimes the in-game ratings are just a little bit off. In fact, I think the F4F has greater firepower than the XFL-1, because the XFL-1, the gun overheats so very fast. And you can see that I have an airspeed advantage on pretty much anything. In fact, the enemy team has a very weak lineup. 2 Japanese planes, a slow Corsair, 2 slow American fighters, bullfighters instead of 110Es. I mean, it's just, they're not great. Like the FW-190A5, I am not going to go above the optimal altitude, and we are going to use the boost to get good straight line speed because I want to get right near the front as quickly as possible. I am not going to ram, I am not going to ram, I am not going to ram. Please God, don't let me ram. Now this map I'm having a bit of frame rate issues because I am running on a potato. So if I do ram, it's because I can't really control what I'm doing. We're going to try. I'm using the flaps just for a moment, trying to get the bullfighter, but that's not going to work. I'm kind of in a cloud of red. If you look at the mini-map, there's some goofball who's following me into the vertical. Whoops, he's one of me, so I really can't outrun him. And the AM-62 stalled out. Might as well kill him. Here I have to concentrate defensively. And I'm actually going to run away, and we're just going to dodge a little bit, take a glance behind us. They're all slow. So I'm going to boost, and I should be able to outrun these guys. I'm just moving around a little bit because it's super easy to hit a target that's not moving. The AM62 is breaking off because it's really hard to hit a target that doesn't want to be hit. I'm actually going to keep going straight. I can't really save my teammate that's back there, so I'm going to go hunt GA. You don't have to suicide. It's not cowardly. It's just like, okay, I can't really fight head-to-head with these fighters anymore. How can I make myself useful? And nobody's picking up this GA at home, and hopefully we can get some kind of supremacy win. As I'm approaching the GA, I am slowing down, and so is the frame rate. And now we're just kind of, we don't want to get too close to the GA. Here I'm using my flaps and brake a lot more than normal, just because it's not really a threat to me. I want to break away when I'm roughly 300 meters because I don't want to get bombed. And these attack runs are not really great. You can see my hit points going down there. So already we're 2 games in. This is not the best stretch of games I've ever had. Am I gonna die to his stupid tail gunner? That would be embarrassing. Alright, our team is not doing well, and unfortunately I don't really have the hit points or the plane that's capable of carrying this. We finally take him down with our frame rate below 20. That's awesome. We do have a bit of a superiority advantage, so there's the XFL1, by the way. Oh, interesting. I'm gaining... Whoops. I am potatoing. The frame rate's kind of messing me up here. Yeah. Either way. Hey, Wargaming, how about you fix your game? That'd be nice. It'd be really, really nice. So, 2 really bad games in a row. We'll see what the third game looks like. We actually won with the 190A5. My team was able to pull it off. I did take 2 aircraft from Full to Dead. That's why you can see I have 2200 XP on a double. Let's try something a little different. Let's try the Yak-1M. I really enjoy the Yak-1M. It is a fantastic plane. It's characterized by great speed, decent frontal firepower, wonderful turn radius, and it doesn't climb. It doesn't have a lot of boost. Here I'm kind of wondering if I should hop out and get into the 109Z, but the queue actually kicks me into a game. So sometimes you can see like there's a lot of tier 7s in game. Hey, I'm going to jump up to tier 7, because sometimes there wasn't. It's in the day, so there wasn't a lot of tier 7s. Okay. In the game, I know a couple of these guys. Lear Pilot is a regular. Dreamer is a regular as well. Those will probably be my toughest competition I face. I don't recognize anybody else. That's no disrespect to them. It's just I've played with these guys a fair amount. So again, they have 2 Japanese planes as their top. They do have a P-51D and a Hornet. That's rough, but we have just the superior planes. Not that it matters much. I would take their lineup over ours simply because I know they have a couple experienced pilots on their side. But from just a pure plane perspective, we do have the better setup with 2 109Zs and 2 109Gs. Okay, this is going to be very similar to the Focke-Wulf line, as I'm going to gain some altitude, not a lot of altitude, and I'm just going to try to get to the front relatively quickly. You can see that for a turn fighter, the Yak-1M has a really great cruising speed. On maps like Bay, and there are a couple other ones, where the enemy GA is going to be put here. You want to speed and try and stop their early attempts to destroy ground targets. So right here you see I'm not going head on against the F4U, and I'm kind of ducking underneath him because this plane does not go head on. It has lower hit points than normal. And here we are just going to straight up kill. Not the greatest gunnery work on that one. And there's an IL-2. I'm actually going to, because they are close, I'm going to concentrate on the fighters before we go to killing the GA. Coming over here, the reason was to kill the GA, but that's because a lot of GA come in and suicide. It's very fun with the Yak-1M being able to turn with the Japanese plane. And you can see I have to cut the throttle because he's turning so tight that he is losing speed. And so I'm catching up to him. So I'm actually gonna get some distance with a high yo-yo, and he tries to ram me. And we're gonna cut underneath him. My gunnery could use some work today. So he does turn tighter than I do, but we do waste his time enough for a teammate to finish him off. I have very little experience with the Japanese planes, simply because they're just not flown very much, and I don't fly this one enough, so I wasn't really sure of how tight they can turn. So it looks like even though he can outturn me, it's not very close, and trying to put some distance between us allowed him to kind of get away. I probably should have just rode the flaps a little bit longer. So we're trying to catch up to these remaining fighters, and we want to use boost in the horizontal. The reason why is sometimes your puppies won't be able to finish the job, even though you would think they should be able to. Nice. Okay. I'm not sure where... Okay, this guy is clear across the map. Oh, and that is Dreamer. I'll write that. So we do have a supremacy advantage, so there's no reason why we should lose this game. He even says this does not look good. I agree with him. He is in the LA5, so he can't really climb into the vertical. I'm actually going to cheat towards base a little bit, as he's probably going to engage over his anti-aircraft guns. I wonder... They still have the aircraft carrier, but it's at 96 HP. I can actually zoom down and take that out. And that would help a lot if he was choosing to engage, which it looks like he's just trying to avoid. Yeah, he says no kill for you. I'm going to collect some points. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. Yak-1M, best ground attack aircraft ever. Oh my god, getting crushed. Okay, so that was a pretty weak double. That's why I don't like dogfighting that much. It takes your gun out of the game. You just get so little gun time. So I lived the whole battle, but I didn't get nearly as much XP, so 1600 for a tier 6. But if you look at the FW-190A5, I got so much more gun time even though I died immediately. So I killed 2, killed 1. Not the most impressive games ever, but those are generally how it's going to run. Over time, I'm going to get spikes up to 5 or more kills. I have 100 ace badges in 1,200 games. So about 1 in every 8 games. It's actually 1 in, 1 in 12 games that I'll have an ace game. It'll be more like 1 in 10 when I fly certain planes. For example, the BF-110C6, I'm averaging almost 3 kills a game. Some of the planes that I fly that have lower kill rates are like the ME-209V. It just doesn't have the firepower. So that kind of, you can see I'm averaging under 1 kill a game because ramming is pretty much the only way to kill a plane with the 209V. But anyway, those were some fairly typical games. I performed below average, but that's generally what the games are going to look for like for me. Hope you enjoyed. Happy hunting.